Hey guys, it's Chef Kate here at Settlers Today, and I thought since everybody's staying home and cooking for their family, I would give you guys some cool kitchen tips to help you out. And remember, when you're tired of cooking for your family, please let me cook for your family. Please. So today, knives. So I know a lot of people tend to buy those blocks of knives. It's kind of a waste of money. You don't really need them unless you want them for the steak knives, then I can get it. These are really the only knives you need. You need a good chef's knife, and you want to pick one that is appropriately sized for your hand. I have very small hands, so an 8 to 10 inches, 10 inches is probably as big of a kitchen knife I can do. It's also known as a chef's knife or a French knife. And then the second knife you would need, these are two of basically the same knife. One is an offset and one is a regular, and they're bread knives. Everyone should use a bread knife because they're important for not just bread, but a bunch of other things. And then a fillet knife for boning out chickens and fish and stuff like that. They're small. They're a little bendy, so that way you can really kind of get into the grooves. And then a good paring knife is great because it's like your all-purpose tool. You can do anything with it. Caring for your knives. Do not ever put your knives in the dishwasher. It's going to destroy them. They're not stationary. They're banging around. As they're in the dishwasher, they're being bumped against things, and then that's going to dull out your blade. Just hand wash them, leave them on a towel for a minute, wipe them dry, and put them away. And make sure you dry them because they will rust. Even though they're stainless steel, that doesn't mean they're not going to rust. Another thing, so this is called a steel. On the edge of a knife, there are little tiny burrs, and those burrs get out of whack. And this will put them back together. So after a while, they're kind of all going to like go all crazy. And then when you use a steel, it brings them back to a point, which will make it a lot easier to cut. To use one, you're going to want to hold your knife firmly, and if you're righty or lefty, I'm sorry, all you left-handed people, I'm a right-handed person. So you kind of hang on to it, and then make sure your thumb is below this part because you'll cut your tip of your thumb off if you're not careful. And at a slight angle, you want to just bring it down and start off slow. Like, not everyone can just, you know, it took me a long time to get here, people. You will get there too. Use this quarantine, practice. Have Band-Aids ready. But you just do this a few times and it brings your knife right back to a much more usable shape. And remember, dull knives are more dangerous than a sharp one because you have to press harder. You're not going to be able to like cut through any skins, and it's going to slide, and that's usually how people cut themselves because their knives aren't sharp. And since I guys have you here, I figured I would show you like how to cut an onion properly with my newly honed knife. So there's two different ways to cut an onion. This is how I like to cut onions. I cut it in half. Always remove your skin because it's gross. Unless you're making a stock, then save that for your stock. And I just and that's how you cut an onion in an easier way than the old school way, which is where you keep the root on and you kind of imagine the root was still on here. You cut it down like this. Whoa. And you would cut it like this. And then you would chop it. And if that's how you prefer, it's totally fine. Everyone's got their own different ways of doing everything. And so it's a few knife skills for you. And you know, have fun, be safe, be very careful. One of my favorite memories from culinary school is during Knife Skills Week. Our chef came in and said, "It's knife skills, guys. There will be blood." So be very careful. And remember, if you're really tired of cooking for your family, call us up. Let me cook for you. I would love to. And I hope to see you soon.